what we are going to be discussing today. I'm super, super, super excited. Super, super, super excited about what we're going to be discussing. If we don't mind, I would just like to get to know a few of us. So if you can comment what your name is, don't omit yourself, just type it. Your name and where you're joining from. Your name and where you're joining from. Your name and where you are joining from. For those who are just joining, you are welcome. So I'm requesting us to let me know our name and where we are joining from. Our name and where we are joining from, even as we get started in today's session. We have Said from
I'm
Yobe. Oh,
Olakuleke
wow.
Samuel. Good morning, sir. I'm Olakuleke Samuel.
Please, I'll prefer if you type it instead of unmuting yourself. Thank you. So that we have a clear conversation. So we have Martins from Abuja, Emmanuel from Abuja. All these guys from Abuja. Should we do a quick meet and greet this afternoon? Because I'm currently in Abuja, but I'm leaving tomorrow. So should we do a quick meet and greet? Gideon from Ibadan, good to see you, Gideon. Mushefiu from Lagos, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Treasure from Mowe in Ogun State, good to see you, Treasure. Good to see you, Treasure. Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. I'm happy to see everyone join. All right. So, market noise. Market noise. How to identify the right deals. Yes, sir, we can do a quick meet and greet. So where should we do meet and greet? Let's plan it. Where should we do meet and greet? All right. So we're talking about market noise and how to identify the right deals. And let me take. I don't know why I like to use this illustration, but I think it's really really very effective. If you are the okay, we're from Lagos. We have people joining from YouTube now. That's nice. That's nice. That is nice. All right. So there's an example I often give when I want to talk about um, making deals, and that example is if you're at a marriageable age, right? For some of you here, you are maybe at a marriageable age, you're trying to get married, right? And some of you are single, you are looking for a relationship. Now the question is it for the absence of men or women that you're not married yet? Or because there's a particular kind that you're looking for? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Is it the fact that there's no male, there's no guys everywhere. Maybe you have just 10 guys in the world. There's no guy anywhere. All the guys are married, you know. So there's no other leftover. That's why I'm single. Or let's say you are a guy, is it that there's no lady, there's nobody wearing skirts and putting on makeup, there's no lady, there's no female anywhere. That's why you're not yet married or you're not yet in a relationship. Is that the reason? Is that the reason? Of course not. Of course not. The only reason why, even though we have hundreds of millions of guys and hundreds of millions of young ladies, the reason why you can still be single is because there's a kind you are looking for. The same thing with doing deals. The very same thing when it comes to doing deals. It's not because there's no deals anywhere. Are we together? It's not because there's no offer in the market. If you want to, let's say you have 1 million naira now. If you want to spend it in 2 seconds, you will see offers 1 billion, one quadrillion. You will see offers. But why is it that you don't just buy anything? Because there has to be a kind that you're looking for. There has to be a kind. There have to be a kind that you're looking for. That's really where the separation happens. There have to be a kind that you're looking for. Whether you are buying land or you are buying stocks. Let me give you an example. Let's get practical. Let's get practical. I was listening to someone recently, and the person was talking about how you can start investing with, I think, 10 naira or 100 naira or something. I think it was 100 naira. And, she was just mentioning stocks that sell for 100 naira. And I said, well, that can be a metric. But is that all the metric that you use to choose whatever it is you want to commit your money to? For example, how many of you would like to marry a guy that would be beating you but will be giving you money? Odogu, banana, but is beating you. Would you like that? Right? Or a girl that is understanding. She doesn't bill you. She doesn't ask for money. Whatever you say, she says yes to it. Right? But she bedwets. Would you say, you know what? Because of just this one, many of you even have a list of the characteristics you are looking for, or so the things we call non-negotiables. What we call non-negotiables. That is, I don't care if you have this. I don't care if you have this. For example, some people, maybe you are a Christian. I don't care if you have money. I don't care if you are handsome. I don't care if you have six packs. If you don't believe in what I believe in, we cannot work. That's a non-negotiable. The same way when it comes to either investing in. Now, let me say, when I say deals can be even choosing employees. Deals can be choosing a business partner. Deals can be investing in a business. Deals can be investing in a property. Deals can be, forming a partnership in business, collaborating in business. Deals can be anything. It can come in any form. So you having all these metrics in check would help you know whether you are getting the best deal or you are not. Like I said, we are all making deals every single day. Today now, many of you have made deals. In fact, let me tell you one deal you've made today. In economics, there's something called opportunity cost. That is, for every choice that you make, there's an opportunity cost forgone. Yes, I'll break it down. You chose to be here. That's the choice you've made. There's something you left to be here. You could have been sleeping. You could have been on the phone with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband. You could have been with your family having a good time. You could have been in your shop selling something. You could have been in your office. Some of you might even be in the office now. And instead of listening to music, you are plugged in and listening to me. Right? So some of you, maybe you are in your shop, in your business. You could have been doing anything. You could have been taking a nap. You could have been eating. You could have just taken a stroll. You could have just been sitting down and be meditating. Those are opportunity cost forgone for you to actually choose this. So that's a deal you made. So you have to say no deal to a lot of things and say deal to being on this platform this afternoon. That's a deal you made. So when we understand this, we would actually realize that our lives revolves around deal making. Our lives revolve around deal making. It revolves around deal making. Right? And I'm going to be giving us 5 checklists to making profitable deals. 5 checklists to making profitable deals. 5 checklists to making profitable deals. And the first one, which is the foundation to everything, it is, what do you want? Whether you are buying a property, whether you are investing in a business, whether you are getting an employee, whether you are getting a business partner, whether you are whatever. Give me an example of the deal you might want to make. Like I gave an example of you choosing a life partner. It starts from what you want. It doesn't start from, oh, is the girl fine? No, because they used to say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Are there people you've seen that are like, this person not really fine? But the person's husband is saying, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. It is not your business. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Given that someone can be a good person, but not a good employee for your business, and the person will work with another company and would be perfect for them. For example, if a team of armed robbers have someone who knows how to pick pockets, that's an asset. to the armed robbery gang. That's an asset. He can steal keys from police. He can steal gun from police. That's an asset that you can pickpocket. But that same person has an asset and a good deal for an armed robbery gang. If you invite, employ the person in your business, is that an asset? Is that a good deal for you? Is that a good deal for you? So you see what we are driving at. So it starts from you knowing what exactly do I want. That's where it starts from. Me now, what do I want? It doesn't start from who is this person. It doesn't start from what does this person have to offer. It starts from me, what do I want? So, for example, you have 5 million to invest, right? What's my plan for the 5 million naira? What's my goal for the next 1 year? What am I trying to achieve? I one of the things I say, and I think this is a good time to say it, that a lot of times we have investment. For example, if you check many of the top investment management firms in this country, in the world actually, the goals are vague. Oh, we're helping you, what's it called? Build wealth. What exactly is the specific meaning of building wealth? Oh, we are helping you become financially free. We're helping you achieve prosperity. It's not specific. It's not specific. It's not specific. It's not specific. Specific is that, okay, we're helping you build 1 billion naira in asset portfolio in the next 10 years. Now that is specific. Now that is specific. We're helping you build a net worth of $10 million. Now that is specific. That is specific. So that clarity is too crucial to be taken for granted. You must not, there's a quote that says, if you don't know where you're going, every direction looks like the way. If you don't know where you're going, every direction looks like the way. Everywhere you turn, because, for example, you reach a T junction. Since you don't know where you're going, whether you go left or go right, you are correct. For example, maybe you are taking evening stroll, right? You can just even branch into a direction because I've not passed here before. Let me just pass here. Because there's no destination. There's no destination. Right. And that's why, when it comes to permit me to say, to just spin this, when it comes to real estate investments, owning a land does not mean you are making a wise financial decision. It does not mean you are building wealth. Okay, let me just say this. Investing does not mean you are building wealth. You can still invest and still be broke. Have you not seen broke landlords? Have you not seen landlords that if you don't pay their rent, they will suffer? Owning does not mean you can be owning property and not be investing. Because everything, you see, there's reason why, like I tell my team that financial intelligence is knowing how money works. Wealth intelligence is knowing how you use it to work for you. Do you get what I just said? Financial intelligence is knowing how money works. Wealth intelligence is knowing how to use that, thing you now know to work for you. You can have financial intelligence and not have wealth intelligence. But that's the story for another day. Now, I said number one thing when you want to get into a deal is, what do I want? Clarity of what you want is too important. Clarity of what you want. I used to have a co-founder when I started my firm. We are no longer together today. Why? We wanted two different things. He's not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. Even though our fallout was quite messy, but at the end of the day, he's doing fine. I'm doing fine. We just wanted different things. So that deal could not work. That collaboration deal could not work. Could not work. Have you seen people that, especially upcoming artists, they are so eager to get signed. They are so eager to join the record label, only for them to join, and then they are also the one crying out that they are ripping them off. Didn't you know what you wanted before you signed? Didn't you check? Didn't you try to confirm what you wanted before you actually say, okay, yes, I will join? Or you just saw the G-Wagon and you're like, this is everything. I don't want this. Just give me the G-Wagon. That's just it. Nah, doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. What exactly do you want? That's it. If in fact, when you see businesses trying to go into mergers and acquisitions, they know what they want before they say they are buying a company. Number one, is this company, instead of us planting new companies into this territory, what if we buy an existing company there that's similar, maybe similar product line or similar whatever it is, that we can buy them, and since they already have the what's it called, a grab of that local place, right? Let's just buy them. For example, Pepsi just got a they just bought a company. A minute, oh, a minute. I want to get the stuff correct. There's a particular drink now. There's a healthy drink now that Pepsi just got. I think it's Poppy. Okay, yeah. I think it's Poppy or something. Drink Poppy. A minute. I think Pepsi just with Poppy drink. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Pepsi acquires prebiotic soda brand Poppy for nearly $2 billion. So what's the gist about this? What's the gist about this deal? Because this is a deal. We're talking about deal making here. That's a deal that just happened. Why did Pepsi acquire Poppy drink for $2 billion? Number one thing is, what will it cost them for them to start finding a way to invent their own LD alternative? Now, the world is growing health conscious and things like that. And Pepsi wants to also be in that niche market whereby they feel like they're selling LG drinks. But instead of them having to say they are, getting a new research and development team, getting new staffs, trying to do a marketing campaign to introduce the brand to the market, is there a brand that already the name even sounds familiar? Poppy, Pepsi. So instead of us trying to invent what one already has, why don't we just buy them? They already have existing fan base, they already have existing brand, everything. Why don't you just buy them? Why don't you just buy them? And that's what they did. That's what they did. So that's a deal there. But firstly, it was what they wanted that brand just aligned with. It was what they wanted that the brand aligned with. It's as simple as that. So, is the only Poppy drink that is in the market that looks like that? Of course not. Why didn't they just buy anything? No, there are certain metrics that is being checked. There are certain metrics before decisions are being made. Before decisions are being made, right? In fact, there are times when companies sell off their subsidiaries. Yeah, you've not heard that before. Where companies now sell off their subsidiaries because maybe something. For example, many of you might not know. In 2017, Dangote sold their noodles plant to Indomie. Dangote sold their noodles plant to Indomie. Is it that Dangote does not know how to run the business? Is it that they don't have the team to run the business? But probably it's taking more than it's getting. They know why they did that. Oh, it's not profitable. Is this because of what they want? Maybe it's taking more excess. They sold it. They sold it. So for some people, it might be like, but are they not trying to grow bigger? Why are they taking few steps back? Sometimes taking few steps back might be the best deal you need in your business, or even as a person. For example, some of you, how many of you broke up with a relationship with a guy or a girl, and you gave testimony in church, or you felt like, finally, chain is broken. I'm finally free. It starts with what you want. It starts with what you want. Start with what you want first. That's where do you start from? What you want first. Then secondly, start with who has what you want. Not everybody has what you want. Not everybody has what you want. For example, there are stocks businesses that you invest in because of capital gains. If that's what you are looking for, that is, this company has been growing, their their value has been growing, and based on the way they innovate, based on some of their strategies, based on their leadership, I think they are going to grow in value. So you buy them because of capital gains. They are companies that they are faithful in paying dividends. Those are cash flow companies. Cash flow companies. That means if you look for cash flow, you look for those companies that has what you have, companies that pay dividends. Right? That's what you look out for. Oh, you are into business, maybe you sell clothing, you are trying to expand into the leather market. You want to add shoes to your line of products. Right? Maybe you deal with Adire. You now want to find a leather, what's it called? A brand that aligns with what you are doing. Now you're looking for a leather company that does something that aligns with your print. So it's not just about any leather business. Let me just buy, let me just partner with them. No. You are looking for who has what you want. Who has what you want? You're looking for those that have what you want. It's not just about the fact that we are trying to expand, we are trying to grow. So let's just do this one. Let's just buy any company. Let me just buy any land. Let me just invest in any property. No, no, no. Like I say, that developers are meant to sell the project, the concept of what they are building. It's investors should invest in a business. And now let me break it down. This is a good junction to break it down. Let me say this. Why, if you buy shares of, let's say, Dangote, right? Are you buying shares of Dangote because it is good to buy shares of a business? Or are you buying shares of Dangote because Dangote Group is a good business? Did you get what I'm trying to say? When you invest, and this is some of the wrongly taught stuff. Do you buy shares of a company because it is good to own shares? Or you buy shares of companies because this company is a good company and is going to be a profitable company? How come you buy properties? Because it is good to buy properties. You should buy properties in projects because this project is a viable project. This project is going to drive demand. This project is going to drive traffic. This project has the ability to increase in value. The project. That's why a plot of land in Ikoyi sells for 1 million per square meter. A plot of land inside Banana Island in same Ikoyi sells for 3.5 million naira per square meter. Why? The project. You can invest in a food business and invest in Chicken Republic. Chicken Republic will be profitable than any other food business. Are there not failed food businesses? Are there not successful food businesses? It's not just about you investing in a sector or investing in a business. The particular business you are investing in, is it viable? That's why I don't buy the idea of buy what you can afford. No, build capital to buy what is profitable. Don't buy what you can afford. Do not buy, what's it called? All I have is 5,000. What shares should I buy? Okay, there are shares that you can buy 5,000. No, that's a wrong teaching. Build capital to have enough capital to buy valuable companies and to buy them authoritatively. That's where the profit is. Build capital with your job, build capital with your business. Before you have 5,000 naira, put it back in yourself. That's investment. Getting a certification is as valuable an investment as buying a share with 5,000 naira. It's not less. It is not less. It is not less. Many of you, that investment could have funded your business expansion, but because everybody is buying property, you also want to buy property. Who says you can't be running a multi, 100 million above businesses and you're still living in a rented apartment? Who says that? Who is catching? Even your business can have real estate assets worth hundreds of millions, and you're still living in a rented apartment. Who is watching? Who is checking? Do you want to show that you are wealthy or you want to be wealthy? That's a question you might need to answer. Do you want to show that you are wealthy or you want to be wealthy? Don't start on what you can afford. No, build capital to buy what is valuable. Build capital to buy what is valuable. Build capital to buy what is valuable. To buy what is valuable. To buy what is valuable. Build capital to buy what is valuable. Build capital to buy what is valuable. So, like I said, you find who has what you need. You find who has what you need. What are you looking for? What are you trying to get? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to achieve? Like I said in the first place, if you know the kind of things you want in a man, then it's not every guy that can enter your eyes. It's not every guy that can enter your eyes. It's not every girl that will appeal to you. If you let them naked themselves, if they don't have you don't want, because you have metrics. You have metrics. You have the things you are looking for. So if we talked about you knowing what you want and you finding who has what you want, then this is the third part. This is where the deal making happen. Find what you have that the person who has what you have need. Life is give and take. It's give and take. Everybody wants something. Nothing is free, not even in freetown. Nothing is free, not even in freetown. Nothing is free, not even in freetown. So this person, for example, let's break it down. For example, you are looking for Odogu Parara, but hope you know that it's only industrious woman that appeal to Odogu Parara. You are looking for an industrious woman, but you are lazy. You want to be a liability, but you are looking for an asset. Yeah. Your business is barely surviving, but you want to do deals with multinationals. You know, you're a fashion designer. Someone cannot give you a clothes and get it on time. Someone cannot bring you a what's it called, a contract of maybe 10 people's ashwebi and get it when they say they will get it, or get the style they say they will get it. But you want Dangote's daughter, where or someone should recommend you for Dangote's daughter's wedding. No, it's not done. There must be something you have that makes people who have what you need eager to do deals with you. There must be something you have. There must be something you have. There must be something you have. It's not charity, it's deal. It's business. It's not charity. It's not charity. It's not charity. That's why the most valuable companies are not cheap to buy. The most valuable properties are not cheap to buy. The most valuable girls are not cheap to marry. The most valuable guy too is not, they are not hawking them. Someone told me something years ago. He said you attract who you are, not what you want. And I think so many people might need to understand that. You're in business. You want to start doing deals in hundreds of millions. Check. Are you an 100 million person? The way you're running your business, will someone who has 100 million be comfortable doing business with you? The way you project your business, will someone who has 100 million be comfortable to do business with you? Your expertise, your mastery, and your presentation of those two things, do they communicate that you can handle 100 million? Do they communicate that you can handle 100 million? Right. So it's not just because it's not because you want it, you get it. No. What do you have that the person who has what you want would be eager to exchange? We are still in the barter system. Don't deceive yourself. This world is still barter. Trade by barter. Still trade by barter. What do you have that person is eager? They are eager to give you what they have. They're eager to give you what they have. For example, I train, what's it called? I consult for companies. I train companies. When I send invoice, they are eager to pay because they know that what I'm going to come and train the staff for is going to make them the money back in fold. People that pay for my one-on-one consulting, pay 50K for 1 hour to speak with me, they know that what the insight they're going to get is more valuable than whatever it is they're paying for. Than whatever it is they're paying for. Than whatever it is they're paying for. So it's not charity. It's not because they like my face. No, it's results. It's result. It's result. It is 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 result. So what do you have that the other person you're trying to, for example, if a business wants to buy another business, they will check their financials. Are you LD as a business? Are you LD? Well, I hope you are not just buying liabilities. Are you making money? If you are not LD but you have some potentials, they will buy you cheap. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they might still buy you, they might still do deals with you, but they will buy you cheap. They will buy you like scrap. You know what scrap means? For example, you want to sell a car that a lot of things is wrong with. They will buy it cheap. They will buy it cheap. They will price it anyhow. Just buy it cheap. You don't want to sell yourself cheap. So that means you also have to have certain substance. Certain substance. You must have certain substance. Certain substance. For example, what's it called? There are some people that I used to watch months ago, years ago. I would just watch and I'm just, in love with what they are doing. Right? Today now, we can actually have conversations. Why? I grew. I didn't beg for mentorship. I grew. Invested in myself, learned. I grew. It's not answer, please, let me also be your, let me just, no. I grew. I grew. There was someone I was doing PA for before. Now we are doing business partnership. I grew. In fact, let me tell you something. Don't sell yourself until you know your value. Don't offer yourself. Don't sell yourself until you know your value. Until you are aware of what value you offer. For value you offer. For value you offer. Right. Now let me give us number 4. Right. There are certain deals you don't go into without hands-on professionals on the deal. For example, lawyers, accountants. That's why on some investments that you want to do, you hear them say, consult your financial advisor or your tax advisor. Many of us, we are at a lawyer where you are at a level where you should have lawyers on standby. You are paying them monthly on standby. You should have. You should have. It's needed. There are some businesses that have multiple lawyers. They have multiple lawyers on standby. There's some due diligence that you need a team of lawyers to do for you. There's some due diligence you need a team of lawyers to do for you. Due diligence that you need a team of accountants to do for you. Why do you think companies have, what's it called? All these consultants, them Deloitte, them PwCs, and things like that. When they want to, let's say they want to do a merger, they consult those people. They said, please help us do a due diligence on this company before we buy them. Then those ones, they go, they audit, they do all those things, they check all their financials. That's due diligence. You also investing in real estate. Which profitable real estate investor are you consulting? That's why I say, if you start trying to start something for the first time, don't do solo. You're trying to get something started for the first time, don't do solo. Find someone experienced, not a salesman, someone experienced. There are people that have come to us that they want to invest in property. I tell them this money is no investment, except you like the project so much you want to live there. Especially when they're asking for unnecessary payment spread. No. When you build capital, you will be a member of this community with ease, without pressure. Without pressure. Without pressure. Without pressure. Without pressure. And number 5, that's where community comes in. That's your community. That's where your circle comes in. Hope you know your circle reflects the kind of deals you'll be doing. For example, you heard that what's his name? What's the name of this guy? Is he Otedola's brother now? I think he's his brother. Yeah, that he bought shares of Geregu, right, and sold for 4.6 million, 4.6 billion naira, right? The kind of deals you do depends on the kind of circle you belong to. There are some deals that you won't even hear. They don't advertise them. You have to be in the circle to know about them. There are some things that we don't post publicly. We just share it to our residents. For example, the same me that a lot of people are trying to, pay for my consulting and all those things. I visit some of our resident businesses, free consulting, free. We audit with free consulting, because they belong to a circle. We're currently working on something whereby we have a badge. Watch out, there's a documentary coming up where we have a badge for all our residents, right? And though that badge gives them access to certain places like airport executive lounges. So when you get to the airport, as a member, as a resident of Additional Park, you already have access to executive airport lounges, strategic partnerships. And the kind of conversations, the kind of access from events, automatically you have VIP access to the event. That's what circles do for you. Circle, for example, this live session now, there are some that hold physical. It is strictly by invitation. You can watch online, but for those ones, strictly by invitation. It is not public. Strictly by invitation. Strictly by invitation. Circle. Circle. Important of belonging to a circle. There are some deals that you think is smart until you present to your circle and they're like, nah. It might not even be a bad deal, but there can be a better deal. If you have that amount of money, instead of putting into this one, there's a better deal you can put that money into and make some more profit. Circle. Circle. I got some properties last year. A distress sales. It was just a friend that just forwarded them. Bought them for about 70% below market value. Because I belong to a circle. Right? There's some information you can't know. And you grow in your circle. Or your circle grows. Right? For example, we are building an additional park now. Basically, for those of you who might not really have an understanding of what additional asset is, right? Additional is a real estate developer, and we specialize in developing country estates. That's additional park series for business leaders, for top professionals, and for other high net worth individuals. So we have additional park in Abuja, we have additional park in Ibadan. We're expanding to what's it called? Lagos, Port Harcourt, same this year, by the grace of God. So Ibadan, Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, although there's one more state coming up, but it's yet to be confirmed this year. So the same thing, additional park everywhere, but there'll be a country estate where there'll be sports center, and then there'll be what's it called, like an innovation hub, where we can have these kind of conversations real time and a lot of other stuffs. And so basically that's basically what we do. And for the Ibadan own currently, I'm going to do a little presentation now. Let me see if I can bring that up right now. I'll just brief us about what additional park is and what it is not. Right. A minute. And these are the things that even circles, for example, some of the things that is being shared now. All right. Okay. All right. So this is introducing additional park. Let me see if we are clear online. A minute. Let me just confirm that we are clear online. All right. All right. We are good. We are good. Okay. If you are just joining, you are late though. You are very, very late. All right. So this is additional park. Like I said, it's a country estate in Ibadan here, in Money Isen Expressway in Ibadan. And additional park is a lead development on the vision to build simple functional community. So we have key highlights. We're addressing housing deficits, creating contemporary amenities, cost effective yet simple, seductive designs, right? Access to exclusive amenities like the country club with the potential for high investment returns, right? So these are some of the key highlights. We'll make it easy for you to feel at home, right? One of the things we also say is that one of our brand statements is that we are building exclusive communities for those who change things. We are building exclusive communities for those who change things, right? And that's actually from Steve Jobs' quote. What's it called? I'm going to read it for us after this, where we got that exclusive communities for those who change things from. Right, we make it easy for you to feel at home. It features contemporary amenities and a country club for recreation and entertainment activities. That's fitness center is going to have a mini golf course, not what's it, 180 old. It has to be a wellness center. There's be a mini polo place. There'll be pool, there'll be tennis courts, there'll be volleyball court, there'll be basketball, there'll be squash, and all those things. There's growing demand for premium development in Ibadan, and also it offers you an opportunity to be a part of a unique and exclusive community, right? So now, when I'm saying invest in this project, this is the business part of the project, right? What does the project offers? Who are the customers of this project? Who are the people that would like to live in this project? From the description, you can know who would want to live there. So you know that, okay, this is not just you owning a piece of land. This is you investing in a viable development project, right? You can see this now. Some circles remain a fantasy for whims. Let me let you see the creatives clearly. So you can see this. Some circle remains a fantasy for whims. So these are the kind of circles in what's it called, national park. So we have from 150 square meter for 1.5 million naira. It sells 10,000 naira per square meter. So that's 150 square meter sells for 1.5 million naira. 300 square meter sells for 3 million naira. 450 square meter sells for 4.5 million naira. And you can spread payments for 3 to 6 months, interest free. And the price is all inclusive. The price is all inclusive. And on the other hand, also, if you're saying, you know what, I just want to invest in this project without actually owning the land, we have an offer that might be suitable for you also on that, right? Which is the additional park fixed resale capital. Additional park fixed resale capital, right? So additional park is a specialized fund aimed at achieving capital preservation and above inflation returns through investment in additional park country estate. You can see there, additional park country estate. Imonia is saying Ibadan, right, Nigeria. So basically, we use your capital to hold plots at a predetermined liquidation date. That is, if you're holding for 1 year, if you're holding for 3 years, you already know how much this plot will sell for. You already predetermine what it will sell for and the date it will sell for before the date, right? So it also provides us access to capital. So what it does for us is that we have funds for faster development, right? And the faster we can develop, right, the faster the property demand grows and the value appreciation also grows for you to make profit, right? The minimum you can invest here is 1.5 million naira, not 4.5 million naira. Is 1.5 million naira, and thereafter you can now buy per what's it called? You can keep doing multiples of the same 1.5 million naira afterwards. When you check the market outlook right now, real estate is a lucrative opportunity for investors, especially in Nigeria, right? Inflation rate is already lowering to around 24.4% according to February, right? GDP is growing about 3.2% estimated, and central bank monetary policy rate is now at 27.5. So really, if you're getting anything above 30%, that's already above inflation returns that you're getting, right? Right now, there's an influx of even development. So that means people having interest in real estate and construction, because right now, real estate and construction approximately contribute about 8% to Nigeria's GDP. That's huge, right? And with the demand, that's the deficit in Nigerian housing, right? Over 20 million units. That means there's still market for housing, especially premium housing in Nigeria. And there's a crazy about 4% urbanization rate. That means rural areas that are about 45 minutes to the city center are now fast developing. So that means if you check a place today now, in the next 5 years, that you think, oh, this place is far from town. In the next 5 years, the place is already town, right? That's when you go to Lagos, the likes of Ekpe, the likes of Ejuleki, right now, they are no longer, you don't consider them as villages anymore. And what happened within 2020 and date, right? So if you check our strategy, our financing is towards a chain of desirable development in fast developing areas within 30 minutes drive to central areas. And we're starting with Money ISN Expressway. So the capital will be used to hold plots for resale. Now, what we are looking at is that we are going to use that capital to hold plots. And the next 3 to 5 year period, we are projecting that we'll be able to sell off-plan units, because the goal is to build, actually, not just to own plots. The goal is to build. So people that want to build there, that want to own homes in such country estates, they will now be the one buying off plan on your plots. So they'll be buying the off plan. Off plan comes with the land, of course. Not that you buy the land and you buy the building. So it's from the off plan sales that are able to return your capital back, your capital and your returns back to you. Right, and this is our overview, right? So base currency is naira. We are investing in naira 2025. The capital size is 810 million naira. So that's 30 acres or 40 square meter. That's 30 acres, right? Minimum investment is 1.5 million naira, like I said, 1.5, not 4.5. 1.5 million naira. Minimum holding period is 12 months. Expense ratio is 10%. Expense ratio means that when you are getting your returns back, because it's more like we are reselling the property for you, right? So there'll be a 10% commission that will be deducted from your returns, right? Risk profile is low. And when we compare you investing in Ibadan, you investing in Lagos, you see that the margin is actually not quite high. Lagos is currently growing at, or let me tell you why, what's it called? If you think that, okay, you know, is this thing possible? Lagos real estate is currently growing at about 20% average when you compare the likes of Ikoyi and Island and the other sites together. Lagos property grows about 20% per annum. Ibadan property grows about 11.4% growth per annum. And we are projecting that this property will grow about 10% per annum because we are using compound returns, right? So starting from 30% in year one, your rate now goes at 10% per annum up to 3 years to 5 years. So it will be compounded for you, right? So if you invest for about 1 to 3 years, you are getting about, on the average, you're getting about 64% on average. Oh. That means if you are living for 3 years, you'll be getting over 90%. If you're living for 5 years, you're getting over 150%, return on investment. You can see here, initial yield is 30% in year one, annual growth rate of your capital. That means in year one, you get 30%. In year two, you get 33% plus 30% in year one. In year three, you get 3%, 10% increase on 33% plus the 30%, 33% in year two and 30% in year one. So it will be compounded annually. And this is our portfolio of what you're investing in. We have 81,000 square meter available for investment, and you can invest either in the 40 square meter. So your capital tells us what's it called, the unit of plot you can own. So you can only own units in multiples of the square meters. So for example, if you have 150 square meter and you want to increase your portfolio, you can only increase your portfolio in multiples of 10,000 naira. That is, you cannot increase your portfolio 151 square meter, 152 square meter, 153 square meter, 154 square meter, or 300 square meter, 301 square meter, and things like that. Right. So the plot listed the additional park fixture. So these are what we sell at pre-launch and launch now. So on the back of the current inflation rate, job market rate, and increased economic activities, Nigeria Treasury bills has been unchanged within 70%, 24.30%. So we are simply comparing you investing here and you investing in the Treasury bills, which is almost at the same risk profile because you can't lose your capital. Why? There's land that is, so the investment is asset back, so you can't lose your capital. Worst case scenario, we say, oh, everything happened, there's instability, it is discussed here. Investment risk, threat of economic stability. Let's say there's war. Last, you still have your land, so your capital is not lost. Unforeseen inflation hike, right? These are the only threats that inflation just rose unprecedented and things like that, which might impact construction, and then we can't be able to build as fast as we want to. But also what you should know is that if construction impact rises, we can also always increase our price of whatever it is we are selling. Why invest? Fast rising demand for premium property in Ibadan, limited supply of such property in Ibadan, potential for long-term appreciation and capital appreciation on that asset base. So if you're interested, if you're interested in this, there's a link to fill, right? So if you're interested, you can either contact, so there's a contact, you can reach out to us here, or just click the link in any of our social media bio, or if you're on Zoom right now, you can just comment interested. So let me type the number here. Just send interested to this number if you want to join additional park residents, either as a resident or an investor. There's a contact I just dropped now. Just send interested to that contact, right? And then we'll send you the form to fill and also provide you with further details on that form. The contact will also be dropped on what's it called, on additional here on YouTube. So for those of you that are on YouTube, the contact has been commented, so you can just text interested. We'll know that you're interested either in owning the plots outrightly as land or investing in the additional park resale capital. So anyone that fits into what you want to do, but either as an investor or as a resident, you get that badge that we're talking about, that we're currently working on, and it's just introducing you to a new circle entirely. And imagine, because the goal is that this thing we are doing is going to be physical. We already have it physical. We just been virtual for now, right? I think last 2 weeks it was physical in Ibadan. It is only those who are residents who own properties in the additional park that are invited to the physical sessions, right? Every other person would watch online. So this actually is for additional park residents, right? We're just extending it for interested people also to watch online. So this is where we wrap up today. I believe you've learned something. And if you're interested, maybe you have a question. Let me take questions first. If you have any question, I'll be taking question now. So you can raise your hand. If you're on YouTube, you can comment your question. If you're on Zoom, you can raise your hand. I'll take your question. Then we call it a day. And if you're interested in the project, just DM interested to the contact that was commented. And we have a sales team ready to help you and guide you to own a piece of property, either as an investor or as a resident in additional park. All right, Abib Onodikwe, please go ahead. Abib Onodikwe, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Abib. Abib, your line is breaking. I can barely hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now? Is it better now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, all right. So I have three things to say.
Okay.
The first is to thank you. The second is to ask a question. And the third is to make it.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, I have thanked you here. So that's second thing I want to ask is not in line of real estate, but I have been following you for quite some time, and general insight to share of the has been really helpful to me, my business, and the way I approach or I deal with my business. So I want to ask, I am this kind of person. I find it quite difficult to close sales. I am in the line of shoemaking, so I find it hard to close sales physically. So if I happen to meet someone physically and want to talk price, and I just find a way to bring you to WhatsApp so I just make sure it's like I just make sure when it is um behind my I I yeah, I quite well. So now I know I can't do that because at some point I might have to some people who I might want to like sell to physically. How do I do that? So that's the question. So the last thing to demand I want to make is like I would like that um I would like to get material you shared. I don't know if that is possible because I would love to go through them. Yes, you have to like to explain some concepts there, but I would like to go through them to read.
All right. So for the documents, kindly fill the form. I'm sending a link now. Just fill the form. bit.ly/refer additional. Once you fill the form, you join our brokerage group. Then we'll send the documents to the group so that you can access it from there. Or you can just chat up the number that I commented and the document will be sent to you. That is that about the.
Okay,
You're already on the group.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Then the document will be reshared to the group.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right. So about you closing sales physically, right? It's either of two things. Number one, it's either your confidence, or number two, there's something called money threshold, right? But I don't think it's number two. If it's not about the fact that you are struggling to name your price when it's physical. If it's that you are struggling to name your price, then it can be your money threshold, right? And a lot of people struggle with that also. That you just think that I hope this person will not run when I tell them that my price. That might be something you might need to actively rehearse. I call it money rehearsal. And what do I mean? Talk about your pricing and your product a lot until it becomes something you are very much comfortable in. If it's about your confidence, one thing you might learn to do is to have a pre-written sales script that you have it's also called elevator pitch. Have it at the top of your mind. So if you have to cram it, if you have to read it every morning, such that it becomes a part and parcel of you, it's part of growth, right? So you rehearse it such that you know it. It's so when you want to say something, you don't have to start thinking of what to say. There's already something you've predetermined that you're going to say to them, right? There's something that you already predetermined to say to them, and that would help you a lot. So I'm quite sure that it's either a confidence thing Because even if you're a shy person, when it comes to talking about your product, you should be excited. You should want to sell. You should want to close the person, right? But if it is pricing issue, right, you might want to start talking about your price more, right, until you actually become comfortable in it. You might want to start looking out for people that sells more expensive stuffs. Maybe when you see people who sells more expensive stuff, you now know that your price is actually cheap. Your price is not expensive, right? Many people think, why are you selling a plot of land in Money for 4.5 million naira? Why anybody are selling for 2 million naira and things like that? And I'm like, those people, you still pay developmental fee. And developmental fee might be almost even, maybe even more than what we are selling now. So that's the truth. But this is all inclusive. Right, so that's some of the parts that a lot of people might not. So you have to be comfortable in your price and be audacious in you selling. When you're telling your price, don't give people discount if they've not asked. I sell my shoe for 20,000 naira, but don't worry, I'll give you a discount as first time for 15,000 naira. No, don't give discount until they ask. Don't give payment plan until they ask. Be confident in your price. This is my price and it's non-negotiable. Someone sent a DM to her, and I love the way my assistant replied. I would like to go on. She says 150,000 naira. She said, it's 50,000 that I have. And I said, sorry, we don't have that offer. Maybe some other time. That's something that's just not negotiable. Right? So just have that. And one thing you should do is have a standardized pricing. So you are not doing freestyle pricing for your product. Standardized. This is how much you sell it for. This is how much you sell it for. So I believe that would help you, Habib. Martins, please go ahead with your question.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, let me just. I wanted to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I think based on what explanation just and the answer, right, it leans towards first.
I can't hear you. The line is breaking. I'm really struggling to hear you.
Is it better now?
Okay, yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, I was saying that I think it's the first one, like the first issue about confidence part that you mentioned. So I've actually what I want to see. But let the person ask, the Martin person ask that question. So I
Okay.
ask it.
All right, Martins. Is Martin still here? Martins, are you here? Okay. If Martins, okay. All right, Martins, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I have 3 questions. Before I start, let me say thank you. I've been following for quite some time. We met at Urban Economy program on Saturday.
Martins, I can barely hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's not clear. But go ahead.
Okay. The first question I have here is the additional park. Where is the location in Abuja?
The additional park in Abuja is not currently on sale. It's in Lugbe, but it's not currently on sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go anywhere, please do try and inform us. Then my second question, what book can you recommend on series?
What will I recommend for?
What book will you recommend?
What book will I recommend for who?
Sales. To improve your
Sales. For sales.
Yes.
There's a book I once recommended, and I think that book mentions sales, but I think the easier one, or the more, I would recommend you get this book. Let me get the title correctly. A minute. There are 2 books I like recommending. One is Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal. That's the number one. But there's a particular book I actually want to do. To Sell is Human by Daniel Pink. Yeah, check that book out. To Sell is Human by Daniel Pink. I believe that also help you. And maybe if you can also, Story Brand. You can check out Story Brand also. That's a good book on sales. So I believe that would help.
Okay.
All right.
Last question.
Okay, go ahead. What's the last question?
Yeah, I'm a facility manager. I get to handle cleaning, station, as well as general maintenance. So my question is, isn't looking compromise, like pricing compromise, isn't it good, like working with the client's budget? Because most times,
I cannot hear your question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what do you say?
Okay, I'm asking if making compromise for customers in terms of pricing, this is good. Like telling them you want to work with their budget, this is a good thing.
To be honest, I don't agree. I don't align with telling them you want to work with their budget. No, don't work with their budget. Tell them your price. They can negotiate and you can negotiate, but have a price, have a predetermined price you have. That's why sometimes you have like categories, right? You have categories of what you offer. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have categories of what you offer, right? So if they don't fit in category one or don't fit in category two, they'll fit in category three. If they now want custom made offer, you can ask, okay, based on what you want, tell me what you want. Then based on what they want, you prepare a budget for them. Not that we can work with your budget. No, that's not how it works. I don't. Me personally, I don't think I would recommend that, right? Because that means you can't even predetermine your revenue in business. You can't do a lot of things. You just be waiting on everybody that has budgets. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. This is where we wrap up today's session. The book suggestion, how to Donald Trump, The Art of the Deal, and then secondly, To Sell is Human by Daniel Pink. All right. So Joseph, please go ahead. Joseph is the last question we are taking. Joseph Amuson, please go ahead. Is Joseph here?
Thank you so much, sir. I'm still on the question about sales. I actually want to ask. I'm into fashion industry. I'm making suits, native wears, but I'm working on how to brand my company, but not yet still gathering some capitals. But
Okay.
I have a lot of audience on my status that I'm currently having interaction with. Maybe I have a lot of viewers that I have interaction with. And I'm thinking of, okay, what if I started having a tag price on my product? Some of my wares that I just snapped with my
Put a
mannequins
price
and I
tag there.
uploaded on my
Yes. Put
status.
a price tag there.
Is it nice? Because most times, many of them will like,
It
this
is.
thing is too much now.
If you are scared to name your price because people think it's too expensive, then are there no people that are pricing more than what you are pricing?
Yes.
Put your price. I highly recommend you putting your price. Put your price
Okay.
there.
Thank you. Lastly, sir, about I watch closely Dejantola and several people that are making suits. Emmanuel, people like that, that I knew they are into what I'm doing too. I
Yeah.
noticed they always have a storyline concerning their brand and it
Yeah.
brings uniqueness to their product. So I just
Yeah.
want to ask that is storyline to part of an idea to drive the point home and the kind of
Of
product you are
course,
making.
I've said it in one of our excerpts before that don't just sell clothes, sell something, sell the why, sell
Yeah,
the story behind, sell the inspiration behind it. Don't just sell clothes. So I believe story helps. So employ that too.
okay. So sorry, sir. One last thing. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
And if I want to launch
Yeah.
my brand,
Yeah.
is it nice? I should make it virtual since it's a tailor work, or I should make it virtual. This on physical meeting to gather some of my customers. I'm
Depends on
hoping to do
if
that
your
later in
customer
the year.
depends on your budget and if you gather your customer, if you are going to be able to close them. It's a financial decision, it's not an emotional decision. If you do it online, will you make sales? Yes. If you do it physical, will you make sales? Yes. What will it cost you to do? Will your audience like to come physically or will they prefer to do it online? When you have that fact right, you can be able to make your decision. It's not like there's no one size fit all to it. Depends on your budget and the kind of customers you're servicing and which one would help you make more money and cut costs best.
All right, thank you.
All right. All right. So thank you, everyone. If you're interested in the additional pack project or you have someone who might be interested, and one good thing is that we made it easy to refer additional, right? All you need to do is to maybe share the flyer or the stuff with someone if they're interested, even if you don't know how to sell. Just tell them that someone from additional is going to reach out to them, and we'll reach out to them. We close them without you doing anything, and you get your commission. It's as simple as that. So if you have someone who might be interested or you are interested yourself, just DM interested to the number commented, and then we'll take it up from there. See you again next time. And it's been a pleasure hosting this session with you guys. Thank you so much and have an amazing day ahead. Bye, guys.